This is a tool which can convert any ServiceNow API into MCP. And it is very easy to use. First, you have to create an MCP server. You can just provide the name problem dash MCP dash server. What it is used for? This server can be used to get problem data. And the port, because it is running locally on your server, on your machine, that's why you have to provide the port number, which is not being used. And that's it. You have created an MCP server for problem MCP. Now, what this MCP can do, for that, you have to add the tools. Here, you can provide whether it is a table API or a scripted REST. So I will show you an example of the incident MCP where I have, as you can see, I have already created multiple MCPs like incident change CMDB, business rules, scripting code, and client scripts. For the incident, there is an incident MCP, and then there are multiple tools like get incident, list incident, create incident, and update incident. For the tool, you just have to provide the name of the tool, method that you are going to use, what is the description, and what will be the endpoint. Because I'm using table API, then it is similar to any other table. And then finally, the parameter. What to provide to get that incident. So what parameter we can provide to get the incident? That is the number of the incident. Okay, and you can just save the change. And how it will connect to your instance, you have to provide the instance URL over here, your username and password, and save. And you can just test the connection. As you can see over here, the connection is successful. This is all it needs for you to create an MCP. How much time it took? 1 minute or 2 minutes? Yeah, within 2 minutes, you can create your own MCPs without any coding. Okay, now let's use it. Let's see how it works. So I want to investigate this incident and get CMDB details related to it. Let's check. I've already connected all these MCP server local endpoint to my Claude. So as you can see in the connectors, this incident MCP, server, CMDB, and change, all of them are connected. Let's run it. So while we are running it, I'll explain. So don't worry how I have connected it or how you can connect it. In this video, I'm going to explain everything bit by bit. Okay. So here, as you can see, it has fetched the incident from ServiceNow, and if there was any CMDB CI and there was a CMDB application which was connected to this incident. So this incident was related to email server, and it was connected to the CI storage area network, and it has provided both the information. And now this is the observation that is provided because I asked it to investigate, and it did the investigation. And that is all about when you create multiple MCP and give it to a Claude, then you can do a full agentic workflow. You can create a full agentic workflow within minutes or within hours. And here it is asking me, do you want me to update the incident? Because it knows that it has a update MCP connected to it. So it can also update the incident with this information. Yes. Can you please do that? While it is updating it, so as you can see, it is calling the MCP with sysid, work nodes, what information it needs to update in the work nodes. So while it is updating it, I will tell you what we are going to do in this video. In this video, we are going to see how you can install and run this on your local host, this tool. Second, we are going to create a new MCP, a problem MCP, to get problem and create problem. And how to use this tool, it will be very easy. And then we are going to connect this tool with multiple AIs. So not only Claude Code, with VS Code, with Claude Code, and Claude Desktop, any AI that you have. And finally, we are going to create a full agentic workflow that will investigate the incident, create a change, and get the value from CMDB, and also update the incident after the whole investigation is done. We are also going to see how we can do the development from a story in Jira to ServiceNow, and then update and close the Jira ticket as well. Okay, so stay tuned.
Okay, now how to install this tool. One thing worth noting over here that this is running locally, and you can there is no way that your data is going anywhere. if you are using this tool. But it is not mandatory to use this tool. You can use any other MCP. Server console, ServiceNow also provides server console. You can use that, or you can use Agent Core from AWS or Azure. Anything is fine as long as you have a MCP endpoints. Once you have the MCP endpoints, you can connect. You can still watch the video to make your full agentic workflows. Okay. Now, talking about this tool, so how you can install it. Actually, it's pretty easy. So I've created this document where you can go step by step on how to install it. First, there are prerequisites, like you need to have a Git version installed in your system. If you don't have a Git version installed, so you can simply click on this link, gitscm.com, and you can download the Git from that. Uh, for macOS, Linux, or Windows, anything is fine. You can download it from here. Next that you need is Node.js. If you have a ServiceNow SDK installed, then you don't have to worry about these things. You must have Git and Node, both of them. But if you don't have it, I would ask you to do it. Okay, so now this is where our main step starts. Okay, step 2. So first check if you have these versions as I checked. Next, so what I'm doing over here, I'm cloning the repo which has this MCP gateway installed, means which contains the MCP gateway. Now, as you can see, I've got the repo. Now, the next part is I'm going to change my directory to ServiceNow MCP gateway, and the third one is I'm going to run. I'm going to install all the dependencies. Okay, and I promise after this you don't have to touch any code. I meant after the installation. Okay, so now the second, this part is where, so there are two ways to connect your instance. One is directly on the server itself, on the application itself. Another way is you can just copy. So there is this file in the repo. CP is copy this file as .env. Okay, you have to open your Visual Studio Code and go to your env file, and there you have to update the management port, instance URL, username, and password. Okay, this is all you have to do. This is management port is where this application will be running. Okay, so make sure that you are using some port which is not occupied. Maybe 9009 is also 9009 is also fine. 3001 is mostly used. 8000 is also 8080 is also used. So better not use those. Okay. And then last part is this. So before doing that, last part is running the server. Okay, so you can just simply click on this and run. Once you run it, you will notice these things comes up. By default, there are some MCPs which are already built, like incident MCP that I showed you earlier. So let's check yeah. So here you'll notice the 9009, it is running properly. And there is this incident MCP. And you notice that the problem MCP is not there because that is not in our in the repo. So incident MCP with all the tools, get, list, create, update, everything is there. Change MCP is also there, get, update, create. And then there is a CMDB, business rule. So there are scripting MCPs as well, like business rule, script include, client script. I would advise to see how to use these MCPs before really using it in the video ahead, because these MCPs will directly create a business rule or a script include or client script in your system. So better to be like aware of what it is doing. So as you can see, it has all the information like name, collection, what script, it can create the scripts, list all the business rules, get all the business rule, all of that. Okay, so these are default MCPs which is already available with this tool. You don't have to worry about it. But if you want to create a new one, just click on this, create an MCP, and then add the tool. Okay, we'll understand how this gateway works. So as I mentioned before, there is a management port on which this gateway is running. Then there are MCP servers, which are these, and finally there is the tool. Okay, so we have already created the problem MCP server. I mean, it's very simple to create MCP server. So if I'll just show you. You have to just provide the name, description. It is very important to provide the proper description because LLM is going to use that to understand what this MCP is for. Port is also important because if you provide the same port again and again, MCP will not work. So make sure that your port is different. You'll notice that every port that I'm providing is different because these servers are actually servers which are running on your local host. So means on your machine. So if I'll just copy this and put it over here, this MCP server is running over here. Any type of, so this is fine, error is fine because it is, you are not providing the proper data, but that is how it is running. Now, next part is the tool, how you can add the tools. So first is for the problem, let's create a get problem. Get problem. So, and this tool can, I mean, you don't have to be very verbose. Claude is pretty, intelligent, so it will be fine. But if you're using it with like older versions, then you have to provide better descriptions. This tool can be used to get problem data. And here, because I'm using table API, so I will just, instead of as an SI incident, I will just update it to problem. That's it. And now I will add a parameter number. Problem number. What type of it is? So because it contains alphanumeric value, so I will use it as string. Now, the most important part is the send to, send as. What? So basically, this parameter can be sent as auto, body, query, or path. Auto is LLM will decide how to send it. So if you're not like aware of it, I would suggest to use auto. But if you want to like create a request, create a problem, then and you want a short description to be sent in the from the LLM, then you can use short description as a parameter and then send as body. Okay, query is uh, the number. So if I want to query the problem using any like active query or number query, then I can use it as a query or auto. So anything is fine. And the path is like if you want to get a specific incident from sysID, so you can add it as a path. Okay, so this is a query. So I'll just, and you can also test it, but you have to open console. I don't want to open console. And here, this is your MCP is done. This is all it need. Now I will create one more for creation as well. So create, instead of incident, I will just say problem and method. So because it's a create, then post. This method, this tool can be used to create a problem ticket. Okay, and means it's again just a problem. And here I want to provide the short description. Short underscore description. This is the short description of the problem. And it goes into body. I want another description as well. This is the description. Now, suppose you want to add a category field as well. For that, in the description, you should provide the value of the categories such that it is not creating a category when it is creating a problem. Okay, so now we have the problem. Now, how we can attach it? So I'm going to attach it to Claude, but I will have another segment of the video in which you will see that we can attach this problem with um, any of the AIs. Okay, so as you can see over here, there are different type of queries that you can use. Then these are the default server, which I've already explained. Now let's connect it to the Claude desktop. So for connecting it to the Claude, what we have to do is we have to open, so from the settings, you have to open developer. And if you have Claude desktop, and then click on edit config. Then you can open it with your Visual Studio Code. And here, sorry, before we go there, you can, so if you don't have already anything, what I'm doing over here is code, this is snippet. You can just copy this whole thing and paste it over there if you don't have any other server. But if you have some servers already, then I would suggest to copy that's just the server name, not the MCP server, and go over here because you see MCP server is already there. So you just add a comma, put it over here, and then save it. Okay, let's After you save any MCP server, you have to close the Claude and open it again, basically restart it. Otherwise, Claude will not know that the new MCP server has been created. So we'll come over here and we'll check in the connectors. You'll notice a new problem MCP server has been created. Now let's go into our instance and look for a problem. I meant problem ticket, not problem. Nobody wants problem. Can you fetch the details of this problem? Now, you can notice how easy it is. So what it is doing when it is providing the problem ticket number in the code. It is generating this JSON and sending it via MCP. So, and here is that problem: unable to send or receive emails, unable to send and receive emails. State is open, priority, planning, impact. The problem is still open with no resolution of fix or no workarounds. So you can see that how easy it was to create a problem and get it, create an MCP and get it connected. And what we can do once we have so many MCPs connected to a system, I'm going to show you next. First, how to connect different MCPs to different type of clients. And then finally, we will build agentic workflows. Okay, in this section, we are going to connect MCP server that we've created using MCP gateways to various clients. First, let's connect our MCP server with Claude Code. For connecting it to Claude Code, there is just one command that is Claude MCP add transport, HTTP incident MCP and all. And then you have to provide the name of the MCP. Okay, so it should be HTTP, and here is the name of the MCP that you want, and then the local host. So once I'll do that, as you can see, it provides me that the MCP already exists, but for you, it will be new one. So it will be like connected already or something like that. For me, I'm going to create a problem MCP server because that is something that I've not connected yet. So I'm going to write over here problem -MCP and paste the URL for problem MCP. And as you notice over here, it said added HTTP server. Okay. Now how you can check it where it is adding, go to Claude, open Claude and say /MCP. Here you will notice that problem MCP is present over here with two tools that we created, get problem and create problems. This is all you need for Claude to connect. Now, next we will connect it to GitHub Copilot. So let me open GitHub Copilot over here. And the documentation, let me just open the documentation. Yeah, for GitHub Copilot, what you have to do is you have to click on this part to toggle the chat. Yeah, here, once you click over this option, you will notice this add MCP server. You can go through the command one by one to add the MCP. So let's just click on, make sure that you are using HTTP, then the local host. So this is my problem MCP server that I'm adding, and this is the URL where it is running. Next, the name of the MCP, I will call it problem-MCP. And whether it will be available for your workspace or global, I would say global. And here you notice that problem MCP has started and it is running. I can just restart it once. Okay, it is not discovering the tool, but let's just. I think my VS Code is not running properly. That's why it is not discovering. But once you start to run it, I think I need to update it. So then you will see all the tools that are connected to this MCP server. Okay. Yeah, this is all you need to connect it to GitHub Copilot. Next, in the next session, we will see how to connect Atlassian Jira MCP with the Cloud Code.